I am on the phone with a man I've been reading about and hearing about for a long time, and it's so nice to finally connect, even though you're far away from where I am. Michel Hoppe, who's a famous composer, record producer, recording artist, who's traveled around the world, originally United Kingdom, then you went and lived in, are you living now in Allende, Mexico? San Miguel de Allende? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes, we are. We moved to San Miguel 4.5 years ago, and we used to live where I'm talking from right now, which is Portland in Oregon. And we lived in that beautiful Mexican city. It's a United Heritage site, about 160 miles northwest of Mexico City, in the mountains, and it's the most beautiful place. San Miguel de Allende.
I've heard a lot about it, and I've never been there, but the reason I wanted to get you on is because there's this amazing event that you're going to be doing on Sunday. And it's interesting because this all was arranged, I guess, long distance, right? Somehow.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was.
That you're going to be playing at the Sedona, with the Sedona Academy of Chamber Singers, at the Church of the Red Rocks on the one that's on 54 Bowstring Drive in Sedona. That's right. You're going to be doing something I wish I could transpose myself and just travel through space and time and be there for this one. The Requeim for Peace and Reconciliation. And you've done so many CDs. I mean, you've done about, over 25? You've done 30 CDs?
Well, actually, about 35, I would say. Yeah, really. I mean, Cindy, I did about 13 years ago, a Requiem, which was with keyboard and two singers, a soprano, Heidi Fielding, and a baritone. And we sort of made this album using all the Latin texts that you normally find in a Requiem, people like Mozart and Verdi and everybody else have used. It was, in fact, meant to be a demo for a choral arrangement, but in the end, it didn't happen. And the record had its own magic, and that's what came out. And then because of the situation that you might have read about in the program, I suddenly found a really good reason to have it arranged by a wonderful arranger called Richard Bonskill. And it's now for a full SATB choir and a string quartet playing along with them. And it's 8 movements, and the music is what I had originally done 13 years ago, but now fully arranged for a choir and a string accompaniment. So that's what we'll be hearing. And really what's interesting is that Ryan Holder, who's the choral director, had asked me a few months ago to come along and perform. It was nothing to do about the Requiem. He didn't even know I had one. And so in the course of our conversation, I said, Ryan, I've done a new Requiem, at least a new arrangement of this piece before. Come on, Michael, send me over and let's have a look. So I sent a whole load of PDF files, and because he could read it very well and understood exactly everything that was going on, he said, Michael, this is really good. I would love to do this. So that's what happened. And I said, okay, Brian, I tell you what, if you're going to perform this will be a premiere, a world premiere, and I would like my record company to be involved, but I have to have, of course, a recording. Well, okay, Michael, well, I'll record it. I said, I'll tell you what, Ryan, if we're going to do the Requiem, this is about, 32 minutes long, just to make it a complete CD, would you mind doing 2 other short choral pieces that I have had around in the drawer for years that I've never actually had them recorded? No, Michael, that'd be fine. Send them over. I did. And so he's not only going to do the Requiem, and they're rehearsing actually today in Scottsdale, but he's going to do the other 2 pieces as well, Safe to Port and I Am the Moon, and these are all both a cappella pieces. So it'll be a complete album of my existing choral works, and the Requiem is really what started it all. And I'm delighted that Ryan has sort of said, right, let's do this. And it's all due to him that it's happening.
Well, it sounds very magical, and of course, Sedona, I have this love affair with Sedona, And once you go there, you will. It's the energy there is so unique and so magical and inspirational that I know that will carry it as well. And there's some wonderful musicians there. I hope you have a chance to connect with Peter Sterling. I'm going to tell him about this.
All right, okay.
He does wonderful music there. Peter Sterling and Michael Kolwitz, who I know they're wonderful, plays the Chapman stick. And there's so many other great people that are there that I hope you have a chance. I'm going to tell them about this event so you can get down. They can get down there and connect with you, because they have fallen in love with it like I have. Of course, I started the radio station there about 4 years ago, and it's nice because I felt that this kind of area really needed some of that uplifting spiritual music that is found. And you do this. We have to go a little into your history because I find it fascinating, having been in music all my life, that you were in the thick of things with PolyGram Records, and really brought in and were a visionary enough to understand the talent of people like Vangelis and Kitaro and Jean-Michel Jarre. Is it Jarre or Jarre?
Jarre,
yeah. And you also re-signed ABBA and The Who.
Yes.
That there was this energy and magic also happening at that time. And you were somehow able to have enough influence for people to get an opportunity to get signed to a big label.
Well, yes, indeed. I was with PolyGram for about 15 years, and I was head of A&R for a while at the end. And those artists you mentioned, came into my life. But it was one particularly artist, it was Vangelis, who said, "Come on, Michael, I think you've got it yourself, and you should really try and have the courage and do your own music, and not just keep on promoting art." Yes, it was him.
So Vangelis actually got you started doing music.
Yes, it was him, absolutely. And he recorded one of my pieces, which he never does. He never records anybody else's music. He always does his own. And because of his encouragement, I sort of said, "Okay, then you really think so, me?" He said, "Yeah, come on, Mike, I think you've got it. You should leave and do your own music." Cindy, I was only, 38, and then you believe anything in the future. So, right, of course, I'll leave a good career and a good job. I'll go, yes, good idea. Yes, I'll go into this no man's land of trying to be an artist and see what happens. Well, of course, it was appalling. I mean, I was totally on myself, all that by myself. I just had a cassette running around, sort of saying to various film companies, "Would you like to hear my music?" And no, Mike, we don't, not really. No, you don't want to? No, not really. I thought, I've given up a really good job for doing this nonsense, and I really went into the desert, quite honestly, for about a couple of years. And very often when you've left a company, like a large corporation, you do go into a no man's land, which is having a consultancy. And I help other people get record deals, and because that's what I knew how to do. And one of my clients was Tim Wheater, a fantastic flautist, and he said, "Michael, why are you being such an idiot?" "What do you mean I'm an idiot?" "Yes, you're being one, because you don't seem to do your own music. You're, again, promoting everybody else's music and getting them record deals, but you left your company," he told me, "because you wanted to do your own music." Yes, I said. He said, "Well, why not sit down and sort of do it?" Look, man, I was head of A&R, and I know what happens. And of course, this slow, sad music I do normally doesn't work. And I go, "Why are you being such an idiot?"
Who was it that said this?
It was Tim Wheater, the flautist, and so he sort of pushed me onto the piano bench. He said, "Now start playing one of your songs." And he said, "Michael, that's no good. You're not doing it with any feeling whatsoever. Own it. It's your song. Come on." I said, "Well, like this." He said, "No, still not good. Slow it right down and really start to own what you're doing." "Oh, okay." Well, anyway, long story short, Cindy, I started playing the music. He lifted his alto flute to his lips and off he went. And the album became The Yearning, one of my most beautiful records, and very large because of Tim Wheater.
I have to get it. I have to have it to play.
Cindy. It's a sort of extraordinarily one magic. She doesn't often walk into the room, but when Lady Magic walks in, she did it on that occasion, and that was really the beginning of my career. because of that. Yes.
So was all these years that you spent, all the many years that you spent doing promotion, did that help you get a connection to get music played on the Oprah Winfrey Show and to get played on some of these other...
Yeah, well, but what it does is I know what the reality is of the music business. I know what mechanical rates are and royalties and the dances and all the rest of it. And I must say that stood me in enormously good standing.
Mm-hmm.
If you say, well, if you're an artist really of any form, doesn't matter really what it is, if you don't know really anything about business, you really are at a huge, I think, disadvantage.
Yes, absolutely.
So sort of knowing about how things work because of all those years of PolyGram, I could do it. I mean, I knew how to put budgets together and what royalties were, what to ask for with the company. So it's in great stead, yes, very, very much so.
Well, and enough so that you now have done so many, and you've also helped other people. Still, as you still are helping other people, and you're continuing to come with beautiful things. Do you have your own studio, or are you working with someone else?
I do. I live down in San Miguel. I've been there, as I said, about 4.5 years. I made my first album there about last year. It's called Amistad, which means friendship in Spanish, and I used players who live there, and only one who comes from here, Portland, which is Joe Powers, a harmonica player. But all the other players come from San Miguel. And so I wouldn't know if it has a Mexican flavor. I'm not sure about that, except for one track plays. But the others don't, but they're all very good players, and they are local artists. And I love working with them, too.
Well, being able to have a place you love and have a studio and record there is such a great gift, and obviously you do hit the road as you are now, but you have a lot of great connections and friends who appreciate your music, but it's a changing world. When you started with this, there wasn't as huge a category for new age as there is now. It's kind of really expanded to mean many things to many people, of course.
Yeah, it does. Well, it's sort of a catch-all, really.
Yes.
I've never had a problem with it. I don't mind what my music is called, frankly, so long as people can find it. And there's good and bad in all categories, and whether it's new age or heavy metal, doesn't matter. Obviously it's not heavy metal, but it's I perfectly am comfortable playing my music in that category, or real classical, maybe even another one. Yeah.
Well, I wish we had a better connection. It's a little hard to hear you, but I'm going to let people know that they can actually go to your website or Facebook.
Yes.
Which is the best up-to-date information? Is it Facebook or a website?
Well, that doesn't matter, Cindy. They can go either, or my website, which is michaelhoppe.com. And, I would rather, if anybody who's listening out there would like to come to hear this Requeim, I'm also performing with local artists in Sedona, a cellist and a violinist. I don't have their names in front of me, but I'm very much looking forward to that. So it's going to be a concert starting at 2 in that church of the Red Rocks. I'll perform with a cellist and a violinist for some pieces, and then the intermission. And then after that will be all my choral pieces, including the Requeim.
With the Sedona Academy of Chamber Singers, and I didn't even know about them, so it's good to know about them as well. And, I just did a CD called Peace, Music, and Poems, so I know and have a heartfelt appreciation for as many musicians out there to spread peace as possible. It's so important, and the fact that you're doing a Requiem for peace and reconciliation.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you something now, Cindy. There was very real catalyst why I did this, and it's in the program notes. And it was a sort of stunning surprise, to put it mildly, and in my age to find this. But I found that, in fact, my father, who I've always adored, was not my biological father. And so it really set me on my head quite frankly.
Interesting.
And I had to think about it a lot. And I wanted to really honor my parents and my unknown father. I don't know who he was. I wanted to honor them, and I thought the best way was to make this requiem for peace and reconciliation. That's the reason why I'm doing it.
That is so, relative, because now more and more people with DNA testing are finding out the same thing, so I'm sure it's going to relate also to a lot of people. And this will then become a CD. This is recording this Sunday.
Yes, it will be. I mean, they say they're going to be recording over the next 2 days, all the 3 pieces, and it will be a CD, And I'm thrilled that Ryan Holder is basically picked up this and think, right, okay, Michael, I'm going to do this, and that's great. So it will be a CD, definitely.
Well, I just am so glad you called, and I've always heard about you, and it's just fascinating what you are. You truly, have this amazing understanding of energy, I can tell, and you have journeyed at an amazing journey, enough where it'd probably be interesting to do Are we at the point yet where we're thinking of autobiographies?
Well, I sort of, I don't know if I like writing. And you know that, Cindy, for me, the most boring thing to do is to actually write my biography.
Okay.
I really find it, when it's like, come on, Michael, you've got to update your biography. I mean, nothing can make me more sort of, really, do I have to? So I don't know.
So I don't know if the book is coming, right? Okay. Well, people will have to hear your story through your music, which always our music tells our story anyway. Yeah,
very well said. When I tell you what, Cindy, when I sort of perform, as I do always in San Miguel or in Korea, where I'm going, but now, especially when I'm speaking to an English-speaking audience, and there are many gringos and Canadians and Europeans living in San Miguel, what my concert becomes is like a TED Talk with musical accompaniment.
Interesting.
So my music really is like a soundtrack to my stories.
I love it.
This is really what I do. And I found that when living in San Miguel, because there are not English-speaking people there in that particular city, that I could do that. And maybe I'll be doing that this weekend. I don't know. But that's really what I enjoy doing, because I think all music has a relevance. But to lead the audience into the right direction, because there's a story attached normally to what I have done, I think it's really relevant, and I hope they will enjoy it.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate this was last minute. I just said we got to get this together, so I appreciate you being flexible enough to call in, and hopefully we get to meet someday or get to share music in some way or another.
Yes, Eddie. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And when you go into the program, which you've got there now, if you just scroll downwards, and then you'll see the story what I was talking about.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, and we'll be in touch.
All right, Cindy. Thanks very much.
Okay. Aloha. Bye.
Aloha. Bye.